substrate concentration required for the enzyme to reach half of its Vmax. Low CAM equals high affinity, binds substrate easily. High CAM equals low affinity, need more substrate. Vmax, maximum rate of the enzyme when fully saturated with substrate. Increases with enzyme quantity. Most enzyme reactions have a hyperbolic curve, Michaelis-Menten. A sigmoidal, S-shaped curve means positive cooperativity. Binding one substrate improves binding of others, e.g., aspartate transcarbamylase. In competitive inhibition, inhibitor competes with the substrate for the active site. Increases apparent Km, need more substrate, but Vmax doesn't change. In non-competitive inhibition, inhibitor binds elsewhere, doesn't affect substrate binding, no change in Km, but decreases Vmax. Q1, what does a low Km indicate? A. Low enzyme concentration. B. High substrate requirement. C. High enzyme substrate affinity. D. Low Vmax value. E. Reduced enzyme activity. Correct answer C. High enzyme substrate affinity. Explanation. Low Km means the enzyme can reach half of its Vmax at a low substrate concentration, indicating strong affinity. Why not the others? Km is independent of enzyme quantity. B. Low Km means low, not high, substrate requirement. D.E. Km is unrelated to total enzyme activity Vmax. Q2. What is the effect of a competitive inhibitor? A. Decreased Vmax and Km. B. No change in Vmax, increased Km. C. No change in Km, decreased Vmax. D. Decrease both Km and Vmax. E. No change in either Km or Vmax. Correct answer B. No change in Vmax, increased Km. Explanation. Competitive inhibitors compete for the active site, requiring more substrate for the same activity, increasing apparent Km, but Vmax remains the same when enough substrate is present. Why not the others? ADE, these contradict competitive inhibitor effects. C, this is the description of a non-competitive inhibitor. Q3, what does a sigmoidal enzyme activity curve indicate? A, simple binding kinetics. B, high substrate specificity. C, allosteric enzyme with cooperative binding. D, complete enzyme saturation at low substrate concentration. E, no binding cooperativity. C, allosteric enzyme with cooperative binding. Explanation. A sigmoidal S-shaped activity curve means binding of one substrate increases the affinity for additional substrate molecules. Why not the others? Simple binding, Michaelis-Menten, gives a hyperbolic curve. Specificity doesn't imply a sigmoidal curve. D, sigmoidal curves occur when binding increases, not when saturation occurs easily. E, the opposite is true for sigmoidal curves. If you want, I can also give you flash